if we can put up the visual of the 8 Democrats who voted down the minimum wage. These are the Democrats who voted down the minimum wage. Chris Coons, Delaware; Angus King, Maine, Joe Manchin, of course, Tom Carper; Jeanne Shaheen, Jon Tester, Maggie Hassan; 2, by the way, New Hampshire senators, Kyrsten Sinema. And that is their net worth. NA for Kyrsten Sinema.
Whoa.
He's going to be the spokesperson for this soon.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. But Bernie's not a Democrat, guys. Bernie is not a Democrat. Let's just go back to that. So, I mean, I think the frustrating part of all this, right, is that what do we do at this point? It feels like shame is not working on these Democrats. And I think the movement is growing increasingly frustrated with, we're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of an economic disaster. We haven't raised wages and we've been fighting for a decade. And yet there's nothing. We don't have our checks. We don't have health care. We're about to all get evicted like tomorrow. Helen, where are we going? What country are we moving to?
It's Mars. At this point, it's got to be Mars because Canada's not taking us, Nomiki. Canada's like, sorry, we're not taking, you guys are not sending us your best. I mean, and it's a nightmare because these Democrats, it's so goddamn disappointing because I understand. Okay, take the case of someone like Joe Manchin. I get he's from West Virginia, one of the reddest states. He's a Democrat and from one of the reddest states. I understand if for your political survival, you need to vote against a social issue like you're against gay marriage or something. That's something that might actually hurt you in a state like West Virginia politically. But a $15 minimum wage, who is against that? What are you talking about? The average voter in West Virginia could really use a wage increase. I've been to West Virginia. I've seen footage from West Virginia. It's a mess. They need an influx of higher wages stat in a state like West Virginia. So the whole thing is so insane to me. And again, how do you say in West Virginia? Weak sauce! Weak sauce!
Mountain Dew. Not the opposite of Mountain Dew. Dirty water. How about that? Cracked gas water. But Bernie's not a Democrat, man. That's it. You got your fracked gas water and your non-spicy mayonnaise, and I don't know. I'm sure there's something for everybody.
Mayonnaise with a Cholula wrapper, the worst kind of mayonnaise. Okay, what are they saying? Why are they saying no? What's the general consensus?
I don't understand because we've talked about this before on the show how there are big businesses, Amazon and Costco, horrible companies that are supporting $15 minimum wage now. They've been shamed into doing it. Who is lobbying these people against that? It's not, and it's also, it's not like they're coming up with an alternative. I mean, $11 was thrown out overtime. This is insanity. We are so far behind in wages. This is beyond austerity. This is basically handing an eighth of a Band-Aid to somebody whose spleen is falling out of their body and they are missing a leg and they're trying to cross the street.
I love that you're hold on, I have this one left. Hold on. There you go. There you go. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And, and I have said this before publicly, everybody's rent goes up every year. Yeah. Everybody's rent. I one time had a family member was my landlord. I was related to this person. He was my blood, and he was 3% annual. Biatch. I mean,
you're not coming to dinner on Fridays.
I know we're blood.
That's
I know we're blood. I'm okay, are we going to talk about this at Thanksgiving? Because this is going down. If you're going to charge me a rent increase and we're related, you know what I mean? But that's everybody's rent goes. Everybody knows. Everybody's rent goes up every freaking year, right?
Yep.
The cost of living, the cost of Mountain Dew, the cost of mayonnaise, the cost of Cholula. They're not. The cost of Cholula was not what it was 5 years ago.
$7 now.
It's not. It's not the cost of even mayonnaise. No, the cost what it was 5 years ago. So how is everything? All of the cost of living is going up, and yet we're still be like, oh, we're still at $7.25 an hour.
Unbelievable.
I mean, like literally.
It's basically like the coffee that they're drinking during an hour of work. I can't. You know, it's kids, Helen. It's all kids. It's just kids. It's like teenagers working at McDonald's. That's all this is.
Okay, hello, 1950s. Hello, that was cute in like the 50s or 60s when that actually was true. When a minimum wage was when minimum wage workers were all teenagers, like making extra bucks to like buy their new bicycle or something. Right. That is not. It's not the 1950s. Hello, it's 2021. Most people make a very low wage. Adults with families are scraping by on a minimum wage. Right. You know, and that's the thing. And it's, you know, I can't even, I still go back to weak sauce. I mean, the Democrats from these states, nobody is against the $15 minimum wage. And I think we're making the argument that it's going to be political suicide for them. You know, if this is something that you can't stand up for, you're not, the American people are so freaking fed up because most of them are living on starvation wages. Right. That they put a pussy grabbing sociopath. They voted him into the White House, and what's to prevent him from getting back there again? Because Guess what? The American people are still freaking pissed.
They are, and like I think what's so strange about this is if I were Kamala Harris, who, you know, I'm going to guess wants to be president. She's run once. She's vice president now. I'd be thinking, what's going to get me elected in 4 years from now? Like what will be the thing? How do we make sure Democrats stay? She could, if there's one person, maybe Manchin doesn't care. Maybe Sinema could flip to being a Republican. I don't know what their games are. Like maybe they think they can't be primaried. That might very well be true. They may, who knows? But we're going to lose Congress. We'll probably lose the Senate again. And we might lose the presidency. And then there you go. Kamala Harris is stuck with being part of a one-term administration that couldn't even pass a $15 minimum wage, and fascism is back, and somehow Kamala Harris has nothing to run on. Like, just do it for your own ego, lady. Like, that's what I don't understand.
I think, like, because the only reason why any Republican or Democrat, the only reason why anybody would vote down a minimum wage increase like this is because they are being paid off by businesses, right? Somebody, like they're somebody, like some business lobby, because it's only the businesses that would stand to lose. Yep. Some business lobby, and it's like just make them wear t-shirts like, yes, I'm a whore. yes, I am a whore. Sorry. That's the bottom line. If you voted against this, yes, you are a whore. That's it. That's just the bottom line. There's no other, like nobody on earth. If Joe Manchin on his deathbed is, it's going to say on his epitaph, I voted against the minimum wage.
Like 35 times in my life.
Good for you.
And it also shows that Joe Biden has absolutely no leadership skills.
Well, I mean,
he's not acting like Lyndon Johnson. Lyndon Johnson would be like, come over here into the White House while I'm sitting on my toilet. I'm going to lobby you and you're going to sit here and you're going to listen to me because I'm the president of the United States. And if you don't, you're not getting X, Y, Z. And then we're going to smear you and we're going to call you a pig fucker and all this stuff that they did back then. That's what they used to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they had balls.
He definitely, and you could see them on the toilet.
They had balls on display.
Stories. Thanks for watching and listening to The Nomiki Show. But remember to click like and subscribe on YouTube, and please share on social media. If you're not already a patron, please join us for as low as $5 a month on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for early and special content. That investment makes a huge difference. We are not corporate media raking in the dough. It's really you guys that are keeping us going. So please consider being a patron. And to our current patrons, thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to you. We also now have swag. So check us out on thenomikishow.com to get your mugs, your totes, and your stickers.